But before we get to your story of serendipity, I want to read your biography so everyone knows a little bit more about you.
Okay.
But maybe they don't. Now, oh, but I also want to mention that Tammy has been on the Story Chunder before, and so we're very happy to have her back. She is becoming one of our regular Chunderers, as I like to call everyone. And we also want to shout out to Jay Ma, who was one of our storytellers last week, who was also a returned Chunderer and had her birthday on the weekend. So happy birthday to Jay. And now I'm going to tell you more about Tammy. Tammy is an actor and extra who joined the acting world in October of 2018 after working in the casino industry for 26 years, which relates to a story that she told us the last time. She's appeared as an extra in TV shows Harrow, The End, and Reef Break, and in the short films Wireless and Accio Love, which, is that online yet? Accio Love? Or
no, not yet. That's the most recent one. I'm not sure when that's coming out. Hopefully it'll be soon.
I've seen you on social media, on their social media, profiling you.
Yeah, so hopefully that'll be soon.
Okay, you've also done the feature film Streamline and the web series Three's a Crowd, and you had a speaking role, your first speaking role on the web series The Intern. If you visit Tammy Wells' Facebook page, Storytime with Tammy, you can hear her read fairy tales and other stories while practicing your British and US accents. You still doing that as well?
Yep, I try and put up a story up every day if I can, or a poem or some freaky facts or something like that. But I try and do something every day if I can.
Fantastic. Well, that's awesome. Great. So this is Tammy Wells, for those of you that have just joined us, and she's going to tell us a story about synchronicity. Maybe. We'll see.
Well, like I said at the start, certainly what's happened to me tonight is not very serendipitous. And I'm not sure because I'm so sorry, I missed the whole segment of the last lady that was talking because I was trying to figure all this out. So I don't know what she was talking to you about, but when
Courtney Farah, she told us about meeting her boyfriend and how it was a series of serendipitous events that led us to that.
Right. Okay then. So I was going to start with when I found out what the theme was for tonight. I kind of knew what serendipity meant. It's sort of like, something happy happening, like it's a good thing. So I Googled it because I didn't have anything else to do. So Google said it was the occurrence and development of events by chance in a happy or beneficial way, is what Google said about serendipity. So my story is from October last year, and when I was lucky enough to be an extra on a short film, and 2 of the 4 days where the extras were needed, we were at the ice skating rink at Boondall. When I arrived, which is just down the road from my house, which was, a good start, that it wasn't very far away for me to go. So when I arrived, I checked in, looking around, seeing if there was anybody there that I knew, and I saw my friend Derry, who I had been on set with before as an extra, and he had brought along his wife Catherine, who I hadn't met before. So I was sitting down having a chat with them while I was, doing the old waiting game, as anybody that's been an extra knows that there's a lot of waiting. And so while we were sitting there having a chat and catching up, there was another gentleman sitting at the table with us. He was an American gentleman, and he joined our conversation, and we got to know him a bit better. And then for the rest of the day, we kind of all hung out together and bonded over how absolutely freezing it was at the ice skating rink being an extra. Completely different to when you go actual skating because you're moving around. We were in the crowd, so there was a lot of sitting. That film was Wireless, which you mentioned earlier, and that gentleman with the American accent was you. So there you go. So for me, it was very serendipitous that I happened to go along the same day that you went along, and then I got to meet you and consequently, I mean, that was, you know, 6 months ago. So since then, obviously, I have been a supporter of the Story Chunder, and I came along when it was live, which was fabulous. And then obviously now that we can't go there live, this is my second time coming on telling a story. Anyone who saw me last time, I think that was maybe about, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago that I was on last time. And I was telling the story about huge rats. People might remember. And coming along tonight as well. So had I not met you that day, I probably wouldn't have done this. And of course, now that we're all in social isolation and can't see each other in person and everything like that, I'm so glad that I met you that day, because you have been helping me with my acting by doing suggestions of things that I can try. So what I've been doing is whenever you put up a notice to say what your theme is going to be, I write a story as if I'm going to be on. Even if I'm not going to be on, I write a story on that theme just to get me practicing doing things like that, because I would not have ever done that before. Really, wasn't writing stories wasn't really something that I was really doing. And also your lovely Instagram song lyric monologue challenge, where you turn the song lyrics into a monologue. I've done 2 of them now and had a bit of fun with that. And I've thinking of another one that's coming up, that I've picked the song and I've thought of how I'm going to do it. And I think the longer that we all have to stay in isolation, the crazier my stories are going to get, and the crazier my performances are going to get. But not only, you know, serendipitously did I meet you that day, and you've been able to help me with, you know, with my acting and practicing, and you know, somebody else was sort of gave me the idea of doing the story time with Tammy as well, to practice my 2 accents that I had learnt. And not only meeting you, but the other days that I was an extra on that film, on the short film Wireless, I got to meet Annalise, who was the female lead in the film, and I've become quite good Facebook, Instagram friends with her, and she's also helped me as well, which is good. And of course I met Chris, who was the director, on one of the other days that we were there, when there wasn't quite so many people being filmed, and also got to see a lot more behind the scenes than sometimes you do as an extra, being on that particular film, because we got to see how they were filming on the ice, and, you know, all that sort of stuff that goes in behind, apart from, you know, a bunch of us being in the stands jumping up and cheering when they say, okay, jump up and cheer.
Okay, I want to hear it. Jump up and cheer. What would you do?
That's it. Woohoo!
Yeah!
Yay!
No, that was a fun one. That was lots of fun, and it was great to meet you. I'm glad that I'm humbled that, you know, that you feel that you're learning from me, because I feel that I learn from you every day as well. So thank you.
Well, thank you so much.